On this vote, the yeas are 214 and the nays are 216. The resolution is not adopted.
In yet another massive embarrassment for MAGA Republicans and the MAGA Republican Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson, the House of Representatives has failed to impeach Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The vote was 214 in favor, 216 against. There were 4 Republicans who voted no on the impeachment of Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. They included Blake Moore, Ken Buck, Mike Gallagher, and Tom McClintock. When MAGA Mike Johnson, the MAGA Speaker of the House, aka Donald Trump's coffee boy, brought this to the House floor, they believed they had the House votes. They were trying to bully some of these no votes, but they failed. This follows the MAGA Republicans torpedoing a bipartisan border bill negotiated between reasonable Republicans and Democrats in the Senate. Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma, who Donald Trump previously endorsed in 2022, someone who Donald Trump said was tough on the border, was given the lead negotiating position by President Biden and Democrats in order to try to get a border deal done. But the MAGA Republicans blew up that border deal. Senator Schumer says he's still going to put it for a vote so we know where people stand when given the opportunity to pass the toughest border bill. Are they Donald Trump's coffee boys, or are they actually going to try to solve the nation's problems? Let's go back to this Alejandro Mayorkas impeachment for a moment. You had Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was going to be the impeachment manager. This was largely driven by Marjorie Taylor Greene, Donald Trump, MAGA Mike Johnson. This was from a committee hearing where they voted to bring the impeachment before the full House. Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, no matter what, we're going to impeach Mayorkas today on this committee. Sorry, Marge, that's not what went down. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
This is not a policy debate. This is proof. You can't lie about the numbers. No matter how much time you keep giving to Representative Goldman, he's not going to be able to spin it and change it for all of you. The facts are the facts. Secretary Mayorkas is breaking the law. We are going to impeach Secretary Mayorkas today on this committee. We don't care how long you go on. You can keep taking your 5 minutes and yielding back and forth and going to Goldman. Keep going. We're going to impeach him because he has broken the law. He has violated his oath of office. He is breaking federal immigration law. Americans are dying.
And here's Marjorie Taylor Greene as she's trying to talk about what in the world are they even impeaching Alejandro Mayorkas for. There has not been an impeachment of a cabinet official in the United States of America for about 150 years. She was saying that there are some indictable things, she says. She doesn't know how to say the word indict. Watch Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of use her finger to figure out what these words mean and then says indictable. Here, play this clip.
This historical evidence is overwhelming that the founding fathers intended impeachment to be used to deal with the commission of indictable crimes and the abuse of power, corruption, and injury to the nation caused by public officials, among others.
This is earlier on the House floor, before the vote was taken, rejecting the impeachment of Alejandro Mayorkas. Here, Democratic Congressmember Jamie Rasin talking about how this is all about the Trump-Putin MAGA faction headed by Marjorie Taylor Greene are trying to do this. Play this clip.
Gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Chairman, we're here because the madcap wild goose chase to impeach Joe Biden has produced no wild geese. Even Fox News is lampooning the fact that their own expert witnesses repeatedly say President Biden did nothing wrong and there are no grounds for impeachment. More than a dozen GOP members in Biden majority districts don't want to go anywhere near that fantasy production. So the Trump-Putin mega faction, headed up by the distinguished gentlelady from Georgia, has been given this worthless trinket of a consolation prize, the opportunity to bring a slapstick impeachment drive against a cabinet member of unimpeachable integrity who has obviously committed no treason, no bribery, no high crimes, no misdemeanors, nothing indictable or even indictable, if you prefer.
This was from my interview earlier in the day with Democratic Congressmember Jared Moscowitz, who talked about how the Republicans wanted to have Marjorie Taylor Greene be their impeachment manager and ultimately prosecute the trial in the Senate. Play this clip. But Republicans have the brilliant idea to make Marjorie Taylor Greene one of the impeachment managers?
Yeah, listen, America is demanding more of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I hear it all the time. She's fabulous. Okay, just totally wonderful, charming, right? Just a real people person. Feel like you can connect with her on a real human level, right? Very level-headed, doesn't seem angry or bitter, sticks to the facts and the truth. The darling, quite frankly, of the middle of the country. And so Republicans were like, let's feature her on national television. In fact, let's put her in the Senate and let her make the case on why we should impeach a secretary, which hasn't happened in 150 years. I think it's an excellent choice, really, by Speaker Johnson, showing that he really is committed to continuing to destroy the 118th Congress.
And well, let me repeat, 4 GOP no votes. The House rejects House Resolution 863. Alejandro Mayorkas will not be impeached. A major, major embarrassment for MAGA Republicans who wanted this stunt desperately. They wanted to impeach Mayorkas while they killed the border bill. Here is, by the way, Mitch McConnell, Republican senator from Kentucky, being asked about why are you not supporting this border bill that you all claim to want to support, that Republicans led the negotiations. You got your wish list. And McConnell talks about how there have been political changes over the past 4 months, referring to Donald Trump. Play this clip.
Leader McConnell, you know, Senator Schumer says that he worked extensively with you on this package. What do you say to your colleagues who said that you misread your conference in helping to craft this border provisions?
I followed the instructions of my conference, who were insisting that we tackle this in October. I mean, it's actually our side that wanted to tackle the border issue. We started it. Obviously, with a Democratic president and a Democratic Senate, our negotiators had to deal with them. And James Langford, under those situations, did a remarkable job to pick off the Border Council, which supported President Trump. Certainly underscores that it was a quality product that that particular union felt would make progress toward making things better. But as I said earlier, things have changed over the last 4 months, and it's been made perfectly clear by the Speaker that he wouldn't take it up even if we sent it to him. And so I think that's probably why most of our members think we ought to have opposition tomorrow. We'll see. And then move on with the rest of the supplement.
Here's McConnell again. Play the clip.
The president came out and he pointedly put the blame on Donald Trump. He said it is Donald Trump's is to blame for the failure of this bill. Was Trump's opposition too much for you to overcome?
Well, I've said repeatedly every month, I'm not going to get into comments about the race for the presidency among Republicans. I think in the end, even though the product was approved by the Border Council that endorsed President Trump, most of our members feel that we're not going to be able to make a law here. And if we're not going to be able to make a law, they're reluctant to go forward. There are other parts of this supplemental that are extremely important as well. Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan. We still, in my view, ought to tackle the rest of it because it's important. Not that the border isn't important, but we can't get an outcome. So that's where I think we ought to head. It's up to Senator Schumer to decide how to repackage this if, in fact, we don't go on to it.
Let's take a look at President Biden from earlier in the day. Here's what he had to say about the bill. Play the clip.
Immediately. But if the bill fails, I want to be absolutely clear about something. The American people are going to know why it failed. I'll be taking this issue to the country, and the voters are going to know that it's not just a moment. Just at the moment, we're going to secure the border and fund these other programs. Trump and the MAGA Republicans said no, because they're afraid of Donald Trump. Afraid of Donald Trump. Every day between now and November, the American people are going to know that the only reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump and his MAGA Republican friends. It's time for Republicans in the Congress to show a little courage, to show a little spine, to make it clear to the American people that you work for them, not for anyone else. I know who I work for. I work for the American people.
One more clip with President Biden right here. Let's play it.
Doing nothing is not an option. Republicans have to decide. For years, they said they want to secure the border. Now they have the strongest border bill this country has ever seen. We're seeing statements about how many oppose the bill now. Look, I understand the former president is desperately trying to stop this bill because he's not interested in solving the border problem. He wants a political issue to run against me. They've all but said that across the board. No one really denies that I'm aware of. The American people want a solution that puts an end to the empty political rhetoric, which has failed to do anything for so long. We have to get the resources to the border to get the job done. So Republicans have to decide, who do they serve? Donald Trump or the American people? Are they here to solve problems or just weaponize those problems for political purposes? I know my answer. I serve the American people. I'm here to solve problems. Just months ago, that Republicans were asking for this exact bill to deal with the border, to provide support for Ukraine and Israel. And now it's here. And they're saying, never mind, never mind. Folks, we've got to move past this toxic politics. It's time to stop playing games with the world waiting and watching. And by the way, the world is waiting, the world is watching. They are waiting and watching what we're going to do. We can't continue to let petty partisan politics get in the way of our responsibility. We're a great nation. It's not acting like a great nation. So I'm calling on Congress to pass this bill. Get it to my desk immediately.
There you have it, folks. A major, major embarrassment for MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives. And not only does the world get to see, do voters get to see MAGA Republicans torpedoing, destroying a border bill, mind you, that was supported by the Border Patrol Union, that was negotiated by Republicans, that had everything Republicans have ever asked for pretty much in the bill, but then their publicity stunt to try to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas, that backfired and failed in their face in fantastic fashion on the House floor. There you have it. Hit subscribe. Subscribe to the newsletter of MeidasTouch as well. Go to MeidasTouch.com/newsletter. And thank you so much for your support of the MeidasTouch Network. I'm Ben Meiselas. Have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.